Here's pretty much the entire balance patch, and we're going to just go over everything in this video, so this is going to be a pretty lengthy video. Let's start off with summer PvP patch notes. Pretty much there's going to be completely new behavior for everything, and balances will continue to evolve after these changes go live, so there's going to be constant more changes. Is this 0-2, bro? Alright, so let's talk about the buffs. So we got the Dark Fruit, Dark Blade, Death Step, Doe, Dragon, Eagle, Fiend, Kabucha, Instinct, Ice, Gum M1s, Ghost, Gas, Flame, Mammoth, Phoenix, Pole V2, Quake, Sand, Sharkman Karate, Spider, Tiger, Twin Hooks, Venomvo, Werewolf, and Yeti. These fruits are swords, and all these things just got buffed. Nerfs, Dragonheart, Amphium, Kitsune, Ghoul V4, Kitsune, Lightning, Sanguine, Skull Guitar, Yama. So those are all the ones that got nerfed, and the adjusted were Controlled, Diamond Pain, Sharkman V4, Triple Katana. I'm gonna have timestamps for literally everything, in case if you just want to skip to what fruit you use. But first off, we got the control fruit. So outside its domain, the X move, so cooldown increased by 4 seconds, hitbox size decreased by 10 seconds. C was cooldown increased by 4 seconds, and F end lag increased by 0.25 seconds when hitting an enemy. So the dagger mode, the M1 damage increased by 350%, cooldown increased by 250%, and end lag increased by 0.25 seconds. Range decreased by 10%, hitbox size decreased by 10%, and the C move end lag increased by 0.5 seconds. Range decreased by 10%, hitbox size decreased by 20%. The dark fruit now, we got Awaken, no longer self stuns, range increased by 25%, hitbox size increased by 25%. The X move now breaks instinct, end lag decreased by 25%. The C move, hitbox size increased by 15% when fully held. Stun duration on the final hit increased by 50%. The V move, cast time decreased by 25%, end lag decreased by 25%, travel speed increased by 20%. Alright, so the diamond was adjusted, and the M1 no longer breaks instinct. The cooldown decreased by 20%. C added a 1-second stun, and for everything, the damage just decreased by 10% in total. I don't know why they're decreasing the damage on the diamond fruit though, because diamond fruit's literally so buns, but whatever. So the awakened doe got buffed, and the Z tap hitbox size increased to 15%. The Z hold travel speed increased by 20%. Hitbox size increased by 15%. The X on hit end lag decreased by 20%. Hitbox size increased by 20% on both variants. The C move hitbox size increased by 25%. Stun duration increased by 40%. Maximum hold duration increased from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, and the cast time decreased by 20%, and that is the V move. So the Dragon Hybrid now just breaks instinct, hitbox size increased by 20%. Eagle Fruit was buffed. Z end lag decreased by 20%. C wind up decreased by 45%. Travel speed increased by 25%. V move is hitbox size increased by 20%. Stun duration increased by 30%. The F move flight speed increased by 30%, and the flight itself, the meter drain increased while flying with a gun or sword equipped. Empryon Kitsune, the red one that I have, got nerfed unfortunately, so the Z tap no longer breaks instinct. Kind of sucks, honestly. The Z hold damage decreased by 30%, and the X now channels on a hit. The user cannot cast another ability before the animation completes. End lag increased by 0.3% on the C move. The Fiend, I'm actually glad the Fiend Yeti fruit got buffed, because the Fiend Yeti low-key sucks buns, so I'm really glad it got updated and buffed. So the Z tap wind up decreased by 20%, hitbox increased by 15%, Z hold cast time decreased by 0.75 seconds, X hold cast time decreased by 20 seconds, range increased, hitbox increased by 25%, the C end lag decreased by 60%, F hitbox size increased by 15%, and the damage overall was increased by 17%. Okay, this is so specific. Why 17%? Why did they do it like more or less? You know, like I wonder how they got this data just to like change it, you know. The awakened flame fruit, the travel speed increased by 40%, the V move cast time decreased by 30%, and the travel speed increased by 30%, and the cooldown decreased by 20% for the flight. The gas, the transformed gas, the hitbox size increased by 15%. The damage increased by 30%. Charging time reduced by 30% for the C move. The gas fruit's already extremely broken. If you guys didn't know, they need to nerf it. I don't know why they buffed it. But the ghost fruit, the Z move cast time decreased by 50%. Stun duration increased from 1 second to 1.2 seconds. The X move range increased by 15%. The C knockback decreased by 30%. And now the new summoning ghosts are receiving a major ability to upgrade can now mirror sword abilities, which is really cool. We talked about that in the bulletin. Cast time decreased by 50%, which is the F move. The Awakened Ice Fruit got buffed. X now breaks instinct, hitbox size increased by 25%. The C move, travel speed, increased by 60%. And now the V move is usable in the air. I swear the V move was always usable in air. The untransformed gets unit got nerfed. The Z tap no longer breaks instinct. X now channels on hit. The user cannot cast another ability. Okay, so this is literally the exact same as the Empyrean Kitsune. Okay, we don't really need to talk about it then. The Lightning Fruit got nerfed. V tap hitbox size decreased by 10%. The V hold hitbox gain from charging decreased by 25%. I think the Lightning Fruit really did need to get nerfed. It was really annoying to fight with in PvP. Alright, the Mammoth Fruit. All damage increased by 10%. And the dash distance increased by 10%, and that's in your transform. Pain Fruit Last Stand got adjusted. So Last Stand keeps the user in combat while active, health resets to maximum and drains throughout the final stand duration, and healing is disabled. Defeating another player during this window deactivates Last Stand and resets the meter to 0. NPC eliminations do not count. Phoenix Fruit buffed Awakened Transformation. Gang, who is using the Phoenix Fruit in 2026? Just kidding. It's a cool fruit. It's a cool fruit. So the N1 damage increased by 20%, hitbox size increased by 20%, explosion hitbox size by 20%, the Z damage increased by 15%, the energy cost for the X move is decreased by 40%. The Awakened Quake Fruit, Z damage increased by 20%, N lag decreased by 70%, X move the damage increased by 40%, wind up decreased by 30%, N lag decreased by 30%. The C move damage increased by 40%, wind up decreased by 30%, N lag decreased by 30%, and the V move damage increased by 20%. So massive buffs all around for the Quake Fruit. So the Awakened Sand Fruit got a buff. So X on hit lag decreased by 40%. The C move N lag decreased by 60%. Hitbox size increased by 25%. And the V Vortex Strength increased by 100%, pulling enemies more strongly toward the center. Cast time decreased by 50%. This one right here is good, really good for PvP. And the F flight speed increased by 25%. The Spider-Man Fruit, the Z move damage increased by 50%, range increased by 20%, hitbox size increased by 60%, pretty cool. X hitbox size increased by 30%, stun duration increased by 20%, also really cool. So the Tiger, holy, Tiger got a lot of buffs. And the Tiger Fruit low-key is kind of trash, I'm gonna be honest too. Very kind of similar to the Fiend Yeti. It is kind of garbage. I'm glad they buffed it. So the transformed, so the X move for the transformed, wind up decreased by 20%, hitbox size increased by 15%, the C tap travel speed increased by 20%, hitbox size increased by 10%, C hold cast time decreased by 0.75 seconds, range increase. The F can now be dodged with instinct, travel speed increased by 10%, that's really good. The blazing form, which is like the ultimate, the V move heals for 30% of maximum health upon entering blazing form, damage increased by 30%, X, that's the Z move, the X move travel speed increased by 50%, C move damage increased by 10%, travel speed increased by 15%, hitbox size increased by 15%, now the F move now breaks instinct, wind up decreased by 30%. The werewolf got all the same changes. I'm not reading the werewolf, guys, I'm sorry. Alright, so the Yeti. Transformed F hitbox size increased by 10%, and the overall the damage increased by 10%. So fighting styles. Okay, we just finished with fruits. That was a lot. Alright, so we got fighting styles now. We got Death Step. The range increased by 50%. Hitbox size increased by 50% also. That's for the Z move. The X move range increased by 20%. Hitbox size increased by 20%. The C damage over time increased by 20%. N lag decreased from 0.25 to seconds to 0.1 seconds. Hitbox size increased by 15%. The V move cooldown decreased by 50%. Duration decreased by 50%. Oh my goodness, I love my Sanguine. Okay. C move range decreased by 50%. Hitbox size decreased by 10. Sharkman Karate was buffed, so X no longer launches the opponent into the air. Orb speed increased by 25%. So the C move is now new, so now grants temporary health based on damage absorbed. No longer instinct trickable. The hold can no longer be cancelled by incoming damage. Damage reduction while holding increased maximum hold time is now 1.5 seconds. I have no clue what that means, but if you guys use Sharkman Karate, I'm sure you guys are like jumping up and down in your chairs. Darkblade got buffed. The Z move hold charge speed increased by 10%, N lag decreased by 30%, range increased by 10%, hitbox size increased by 10%. I actually want to try this one in game. Dragonheart nerfed. The instinct drain decreased by 50% for the initial hits on Z for Dragonheart. The Pole V2 got buffed. The Z move hitbox size increased by 35%. X N lag decreased from 0.3 seconds to 0.15 seconds. Range increased by 20%. hitbox size increased by 20%. So true triple katana, the X and lag increased by 0.5 seconds, travel speed increased by 25%. So twin hooks, Z move got buffed, enemy landing location now more predictable. Yama no longer breaks instinct, only drains instinct while the target remains in the hitbox, and that's the X move, and that is nerfed. We got the kabucha. The Z now applies a 0.5 second stun instead of a knockup. X and lag decreased by from 0.4 seconds to 0.2 seconds. This one's buffed. Skull guitar fixed, movement bug abuse mitigated. X hitbox size decreased by 15%. Venom bow buffed. Z range increased by 15%. X now applies a 1 second stun event when instinct dodged. We got Ghoul V4, Gear 1, lifestyle decreased from 27% to 20%. Gear 2, lifesteal decreases from 37% to 30%. Crows now drain instinct instead of breaking it instantly. I like that a lot. Damage, crow damage decreased by 10%. That's good because Ghoul V4 was hella annoying. Alright, Shark V4, let's go. V3, we got cooldown increased by 15%, duration increased from 4.5 seconds to 5 seconds, a 0.5 difference, baby, that is amazing. V4, shield upgraded, now scales up to 60% of maximum HP. Enemies hit by whirlpool have their damage decreased by 20%. That is sick. I like that. I like this one a lot. Oh, so now some system changes. Gun M1s, all gun M1s now have an aim assist. Instinct dodge regeneration time decreased from 40 seconds to 30 seconds, allowing instinct dodges to replenish 25% faster, which is really good. And then we got some bug fixes. So patch for Dragon Talon, Diamond, Electric Claw, Sanguine. The exploit allowed players to travel much further than intended when triggered. I never knew that. Flash Step instant combo exploit. Patch the exploit allows some players to instantly combo moves after using Flash Step. Alright, that's going to be wrap it up for this video. There's 100+ new updates in Blox Roots. It's really crazy. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you leave a like and go subscribe down below. I mean, this is crazy. This is the start of a new era for Blox Roots. And yeah, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.